Good evening, everyone. Peace and blessings to you. My name is Reverend Lee Alvarado. I'm with New Thought, Northern Colorado Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to the season for nonviolence. This goes through to April 4th. And each day we come together to practice a new principle of peace and nonviolence based on a legacy of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. So grateful you've joined us today. Today is day 24, and our topic today is the power of prayer. It is said that the last words that Gandhi spoke before his death was "Hey Ram," which means "Oh God." Shot by an assassin as he continued to find nonviolent means to end the conflict between Hindu and Muslim Indians, these were his last words. They were also his mantra, taught to him by his childhood nurse. Throughout his life, he repeated it to himself constantly. He had learned it originally to banish childhood fears. All his life, he used it to banish the very real fears caused by his life's work. Fears not just for himself, but for all those he served. All his life, Gandhi proved that he was truly a hero. In his dying breath, he uttered the heartfelt prayer that had been in his consciousness all of his life. These last words of Gandhi were a benediction spoken for those around him. The assassin who still stood before him, his allies, those arrayed against him, and all of humanity. In a larger way, however, it was his last blessing to the world, to the future, and to all who seek the spiritual path of nonviolence. It is his blessing to us. Gandhi's path was the way of satyagraha, a term he coined that means the path of nonviolent action. But in his deepest linguistic and spiritual sense has a root meaning of holding on to truth. This is what his final words call upon us to do. His message to us is clear. The path of nonviolence is mere smoke and mirrors, unless like Gandhi, we hold a powerful faith in our own cosmology, our own belief in the divine. If it does not guide us daily through spiritual practices, prayer, and turning within for guidance, our nonviolence is just simply an illusion. Gandhi tells us that we should truly look at the challenges before us and say, I don't know the answer here, but I know that there is a power and a presence in the universe that does. Then releasing fear, releasing ego, we turn to that source for the answers. So our reflection questions today, I have two for us. The first one, what encourages me to set aside time for daily reflection? Do you have a setup in your home? Do you have a space that really helps to guide you through that process? A space that supports you in being able to reflect and have that daily time set aside? What encourages you to do that? Or is it not just the space, but just simply the commitment to do it? Is it what's happening in our world as you witness that? Does that encourage you? Sometimes when we witness or go through challenging times, it provides an opening and a space for us to contemplate, to reflect, to get quiet, to go within. And the next question, how can I pray without ceasing throughout the day? How can I have everything I do and say be a prayer? Our thoughts are prayers. Our thoughts, just by simply thinking our thoughts, which there are a lot of them as we go through our days, our thoughts are prayers. And how can we go through our day and have it be a constant prayer to the universe, to our planet, to humanity, to the US, to the world, to whatever is going on in our own lives, that have us express that prayerful space and energy in everything we do. What a beautiful practice to think about, to commit to pray without ceasing. Our affirmative practice today, let's say this together. I have it in the chat. So let's just first, before we speak, let's just take a breath. Just taking a breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And as you breathe out, just release. Release the day. Release everything that has come before this time. And as you breathe in, breathing in the energy of the divine, breathing in the energy of light, of love, of peace. Just breathing that in. And let's say our affirmative statement today together. I begin and end my day with prayer. And as I do this, I remember the power and presence of the divine. I turn to this presence within for guidance in all my actions, great and small. I pray daily for world peace and to become a more effective peacemaker. This is the path of nonviolence. So once again, closing your eyes and feeling the truth of these words, the power that is prayer, the power that is the divine, that is easily accessible because it exists within the very center and core of our being. And we can access that presence in any moment we choose. We can tap into that as we move through our days. That presence is always there, waiting with open arms, ready to receive whatever we place upon the heart. So breathing that in, the power and the beauty and the magnificence of prayer. The energy of it is such a blessing to our lives, particularly when we are experiencing challenges, when we are witnessing hard things in the world. We can turn within. We can choose to connect with that presence within our heart, within our being, to guide us, to support us, to be that loving embrace. So let's just take a few moments in the silence and just tune into that energy. And so taking one last deep breath. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your love and your light, for committing to this daily process of creating peace and nonviolence in the world. For as we do this individually, we impact the collective. Our energy goes out and it touches and it uplifts and it inspires. Because we are all one, we are all connected. Let peace begin with you. Have a blessed evening. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow night for day 25. Namaste.